Why seek citizenship in Russia?
Why not? I mean, like, why can't I be free to seek citizenship, dual citizenship wherever I want? Like, people have European passports and they have American passports. Why not? I'm doing a book thing here. I also got another book that's coming out in September, a manuscript that got approved. So I needed to do research here, and I wanted to go back and forth, and I wanted the benefit.
You can go back and forth as an American. I've been to Russia a couple times over the past 5 years. You can go back and forth as an American.
You can go back and forth, but I wanted to explore doing both. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's nothing wrong with it.
Doesn't sound right. I got red flags all over it when you say that. There's got to be a reason, Tara. What is the reason?
The reason is that I personally find this country beautiful. And for the first time, I felt safe and I felt free. And I wasn't feeling that in the United States. And I think that the geopolitical world is changing. I think that it is becoming a multipolar world. I think that the East is becoming strong and economically, and I think there's opportunities. So I wanted to have the experience of having both places, and there's nothing wrong with that. But also,
how are you going to live? How are you going to support yourself?
Well, I'm a writer, so I just got the book approved, and I'll do other writing jobs and work, in that realm. But I hope, and I already have offers to do that, and I'm going to pursue those offers to write and to, as I said, I have a manuscript that's due in September, so I have that project that I'm working on. And I think,
do you speak Russian?
I do not speak Russian.
Well, yes. This is going to be a problem. This plan has got some holes in it.
Yeah, and I have plans to have tutors and to learn. And they have classes here, just like they do in America. And of course, I even have an app, and I've been learning. Like, I can say, privet, and I can say a couple words.
Spasibo.
Spasiba. Yeah. But I just don't buy into the Russophobia. It's like if I decided to make a second home in Italy, which a lot of people are doing. Actually, they're retiring in Italy or Mexico or other countries that maybe have a better cost of living. No one questions that. Why question Russia?
I understand. And listen, you said this to me back when we interviewed 3 years ago, that you didn't like the Russophobia. And look, having been there, having been to St. Petersburg, having been to Moscow, it is a spectacular, it's absolutely beautiful there. The people are lovely. Mm-hmm. I know that they get demonized because of the Russian politics and the Russian behavior. That you have to be able to separate the two, the people of Russia from the politics of Russia, same as we hope they do for us. So I don't mean to, the food, is that what you said?
The food is really good. And what's remarkable about the food is it really shocked me because no one really talks about this, but it tastes like it does. The food tasted like when I was a kid. And I was like, what is that? So I asked around, and what it is they don't allow GMOs. They don't allow hormones. They don't allow any of that Monsanto, anything, those products.
That's lovely, but they also don't allow gays. So it's like, it's a trade-off. Look, I want to ask you whether you think you can come back, because you still say you're going to testify. So if Gates and Taylor Greene get this hearing going, so how are you going to do that?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. The lawyer that I spoke to is going to prefer, I think is the term, Congress, and request that I be able to come in video link. And so I can do so safely. And I would like to testify that way. And we'll see if it's accepted. And then, I want
to ask you this because John Kirby, who's the Pentagon spokesperson for the administration, has been for a long time, was asked about these allegations that your life is at risk here as a result of policies by the U.S. government or at the hands of the U.S. government. Here's what he said, Sat 9.
She announced yesterday she's seeking citizenship in Russia and she feels safer there. Does the White House have any reaction to that announcement, given the accusations that she's made against President Putin?
We'd be loath to comment on the musings of a potential Russian citizen. That's really up for her to speak to.
Does the White House believe that her allegations may have been motivated by her allegiance to, affinity for Russia?
Difficult to say. The one thing I will say is that the allegations that her life was at risk by the United States government, absolutely false, baseless. There's nothing to that.
Does that reassure you?
Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, I mean, come on. If you speak out against the empire, and besides, like, how many times have they stood up there and been lying to us? And those lies have been revealed recently about Russiagate. So, no, I don't trust the words of John Kirby. And he knows very well why I'm frightened. He knows very well. And by the way, Megyn, why didn't they just have the press secretary answer?
Look, you did the tough thing during COVID. You paid your people and pulled your business through the pandemic. And now doing the tough thing could qualify you for up to $26,000 per employee at covidtaxrelief.org. Government funds are available to reward companies with 2 or more employees who stayed open during COVID. This is not a loan, and you don't have to pay it back. The program's complicated, but no one knows more about it than the CPAs and tax pros at covidtaxrelief.org. You pay nothing up front. They do all the work and share a percentage of the cash they get you. Businesses of all types, including nonprofits and churches, can qualify, even those who took PPP loans, and even if you had increases in your sales. You did the tough thing for your employees during COVID. Now let covidtaxrelief.org help get you up to $26,000 per employee. Visit covidtaxrelief.org, covidtaxrelief.org, covidtaxrelief.org. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.